Now, if you can actually understand the strategy that I'm about to share with you, then your trading is going to be much more easier. Now, when I was starting off, I used to use this. So it's much more of you looking at what the price is doing and then literally reacting to it. So most traders call it break and retest. And this is the strategy that we are going to be discussing in detail. Now, without any further ado, let's just get straight into the charts. So this is basically the price breaking and then retesting and then continuing. Now, what you guys must understand is the price is not going to keep in the same direction forever. Say the price is continuously bullish forever and ever. No. At some point, the price must change direction. And say if initially it was an uptrend, at some point it must later become a downtrend. So say we had our levels here, at some point the price must finally break out of this. So it's very important that you understand that the price is in a given direction, but then at some point it's going to later reverse, and that's where our idea comes in. So the most important concept with break and retest is you waiting for the price to break the levels, then come back for a retest and take that trade. So we have such a given direction, and in this example, when you look at the price, it's even much more a bit technical. So say we have this level out here, okay, and you guys can actually see that the price is breaking this area, right? And then in some way it must later come back to this area and then push up, okay? This happens in a trending market. So in a downtrend, if say the price was initially pushing down just as this, coming back, pushing down, coming back, meaning we have now all these areas. So the price is pushing down back to this area. Now, every time it comes back for a retest, we have more orders, and we shall see how this works, and then the price is going to push down. In here, you can also bring in patterns. Now, let me show you. Not sure if you guys know about chart patterns, but this actually works. So say you had a pattern as say an M. When I was starting, I remember I actually even did a video about this. So say if the price was doing this, now at this point it means the price was initially in an uptrend because the original direction is an uptrend, then it formed a high. Rather than breaking above it, it came and formed another equal high, and now it's a reversal, okay? Now you can see that what was actually an uptrend is now becoming a downtrend. Now we do have this area here. In such a case, we shall call this our neckline. So let me just name it. So this is going to be the neckline. So what we must wait for now is for the price to come back to the neckline, to retest it, and now we can be able to take sales, okay? Now, as I mentioned, the most interesting part is every time the price comes back for a retest, it's collecting more orders because more traders are entering the market, and now this is the best time to take trades. Now, for traders who set trade reversal, say the price was initially in an uptrend and now it's reversing, you must not become the first trader who is going to take that trade because you have seen the change in direction. No, you must wait for better confirmations, and this is why it all comes in. So in such a scenario, if say we had the price in such a scenario, meaning initially it's in a downtrend, come back here to form an equal low and then pushing up, okay? Again, in here we have this area. So initially the price is pushing down to form a low, right? And then it came back. We expected it to continuously push down since it was a downtrend, but then rather what happens is the price had to form another low, right? At the same point. Now in such a scenario, it's a reversal. The price is actually reversing. Again, we also have the neckline out here. And what we must wait for again now is for the price to come back to the neckline, do a bit of a retest, and then push. Now, again, as I mentioned, all orders are now getting in here. Most traders are getting in here. We just have to now wait for this retest so we have our entries. So say if it's consolidating and we had two levels because we've just covered the trends, say we had our levels and the price is playing in between here, say we have these. At some point, the price must finally break out of this area, and we are not taking entries immediately. We must wait for the price to come back to this area, and now we shall take our sales. So it's break and then retest, okay? So it's break of structure, if we can actually make it even much easier to understand. Same thing, if say the price pushed up, it could actually break the level, then must come back to this area for retest. Again, more orders are getting in, then the price is later going to push up. You can see much more of a confirmations are on breaking and then retesting. So I can see much more here. It's already a consolidation. So I guess we could just start off with this. So if you guys can see, we have a level down here. Now you guys can see that the price was actually coming off here multiple times, 1, 2, 3 times. Then we also have a level somewhere up here, This is also pretty valid. Again, you guys can see that the price was actually respecting here 1, 2, 3, a couple of times actually. Now at this point the price finally broke through, so if we can actually stretch this guy up to here. So again, as I mentioned, the price breakthrough, and it came back for a bit of a retest. Now in this scenario, the price actually even broke through, because when you're looking out for retest, we need to see the price coming, either leaving a wick, but then at least rejecting or reacting of that area. So we expected the price to push down. Rather, what happened was it wasn't that clear. We can see that the price came off here and it wasn't a clear break of structure, but finally we also see another reaction of here. So the price came back here and now broke through. Now let's just stretch our point and see how it looks. So if I can just stretch this level up to here, and now this is where it becomes even much more interesting. So again, we can all see the reaction. So being on the H4, the price again came back to this area. Again, a bit of a reaction, not that strong, and then pushed up just a number of pips, but then again came back to this area. So if we can actually scroll through, at some point we shall finally see that this level got broken, and now we saw a retest. And this is the most interesting part. Now we have a retest already here. We can see that the price broke through, came back for a retest, and now it's pushing down. We even have now a real confirmation in real time, and this could actually be a good trade when I'm trading live. And now we have a retest. Now you guys can see that the price has finally again come back to this area. Now what comes in mind really at this point is now looking for selling opportunities. Why? Because our levels have been broken and now we have seen a retest, and now it's time to take trades. Let me now just go ahead and look for more examples. We do have all these areas, so we can have this, we can have this. You guys see how interesting this is? We have this. Then I can also go ahead and mark out one around here. Now interestingly, again, same idea, the price is pushing out to this area, coming back off here to break the area, then coming back for a retest and then pushing up. Now retests can also be pullbacks or retracements where the price is coming back to collect more orders. So in such a scenario, we have this area, more entries coming in, and then we being able to capitalize on that. Again, if we can actually even stretch this level, I think it's much more valid again here. Look, the price came back to this area, reacted off, and then pushed up. So in a better and an easier way of understanding, the price is always going to break structures. It's going to break the higher highs. It's going to break all those levels. And once it breaks, wait for it to come back for a retest, and then you have that trade. So we can just look for an example on a downtrend, and we have a good example of here. So same thing, if we can actually have a level here, we can also have one up here. So we can see the price coming, obviously a bit of consolidation, and finally breaking the structure. And now we have our retest. This is what we are looking for. Now the price coming to retest, and now we have a trade out here. Just a good trade. You can see there was a lot of selling pressure coming in. Again, we finally come back to this area, and it's doing the same thing. So it's actually easier that you can actually do this on all time frames. Even if you scale down to M5, it's actually much more interesting on smaller time frames because it's better for entries. Look out for the price breaking those areas, then retest, and then you're good. Now let's also have examples of reversals, because much of these have now been trends and all that. So we can just find an example on a reversal. We have a good example out here. So initially we can see the price was in a downtrend, right? We can clearly see, and the price came off here and formed these areas. Now firstly, the price formed this. Remember, if it's a downtrend, we expect the price to continuously break all our lows, but rather what happened is the price again came back here to form these areas and finally came back to this area. In a sense, well, here we expect a reversal. And what happens is the price now finally pushes up, right? Now, if we can also just draw one more level out here. So we have this, okay, pretty valid out here. Okay, so in here, I'm just trying to consider these areas. So we have this, and then we have this. You guys now can finally see that the price finally broke through. I think it could actually be much more interesting if we scaled even down to smaller time frames. But in such a scenario, let's see. So the price finally breaks structure. Now it's a complete reversal because it's initially a downtrend, and we have had 3 equal lows. We can also call that a triple bottom, and now the price is coming back to our area, leaving a bit of a retest. Now in this case, the price slightly broke the structure, and now it's pushing up with a lot of momentum. Please take note of with these areas, many traders are coming in, and it's our time to take those trades. Many orders are coming in. If it's a reversal, initially a downtrend becoming an uptrend, then buyers are now coming in, and vice versa. So it's much better that if we can actually capitalize on this, then we are going to get the best trades of there. Now again, obviously you guys must understand that the more the practice, then the better you're going to become good at trading. Now you can actually do as many examples of this, but the concept is finding either what the market structure is. We said it could be a trending market or a sideways market, and then find the levels that could be broken. Waiting for retest is very important, and then you have your trades in. Much more better, as I mentioned, this can even be done on smaller time frames. So you don't need to worry about, oh, Daniel only showed us on H4. No, even much better. The more you scale down, then the better the entries you're going to have. Now, actually, for the fact that you are watching up to this point, I clearly understand how badly you want to really become good at trading. And look, I could actually become part of your journey. So go ahead, click the link just down in the description to fasten up your trading journey, and I would become part of your journey to success. And remember, the moment you're in, there is no looking back.